All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are talking about the Minnesota Vikings in today's video. You are less than 24 hours, about 24 hours actually, from the time of this recording for the game of the year, for the #1 seed, for 2 home playoff games, first 3 road playoff games. The Detroit Lions against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota has won 9 straight games. They're 14-2. It's crazy that one of these two teams isn't going to make or not going to have a home playoff game. It's just absolutely baffling. They're 9th in scoring, putting up 26.4 points per game. They're the 4th best scoring defense, averaging only 18.8 points allowed per game. They're 3rd in sacks. They're 1st in takeaways per game at 1.9. But there's still just one thing missing, and it is Aaron freaking Jones. Now, we're not going to talk about Aaron Jones this whole YouTube video, but my point is, I'm a Packers fan, as you guys know, because I tell you every single video, and I'm sure it's extremely annoying. In the first matchup against the Detroit Lions, keep in mind, there was no TJ Hawkinson, all right? Aaron Jones ran the football 14 times for 93 yards and a touchdown, averaging 6.6 yards per carry. Now, like I said, as a Packers fan, Aaron Jones going to Minnesota was, kind of heartbreaking in the sense of, he's no longer a Green Bay Packer. But I am glad I get to watch Aaron Jones play all the time. Aaron Jones last year for Green Bay was battling hamstring injuries the whole damn season. In the final month of the regular season, here's what Aaron Jones did. 21 carries for 127 yards. 20 carries against your Minnesota Vikings on New Year's Eve for 120 yards. Week 18 season finale against the Chicago Bears, 22 carries, 111 yards. Against Dallas in the 48-32 rout Green Bay had in Dallas, 21 carries, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. Against San Francisco, where they lost, 18 carries, 108 yards. Aaron Jones only saw 12 carries 1 week ago against against the Green Bay Packers in a revenge game, and I was absolutely baffled and shocked he only got that amount of carries. I'm rambling. It's all going to make sense. Folks, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Minnesota Vikings in today's video. Obviously, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We also post a ton of Vikings videos on this channel. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this. More on that in a couple of minutes. But, Aaron Jones, when you think about the Minnesota Vikings, you're thinking about Sam Darnold. Comeback player of the year. He's been phenomenal. He's 3rd in passing at almost 4,200 on the season. He's 5th in pass rating. The touchdown to interception ratio is beautiful. Sam Darnold's just having a great season. 35 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions. The dude's been a literal superstar stud. And I actually kind of like how the rest of the NFL media world isn't really even talking about the Vikings winning the Super Bowl. What they're so concerned about is, are they trading J.J. McCarthy? Teams are going to call JJ. Are they going to move forward with Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold, now his annual salary is going to be $50 million. It started with a 4, but after the Packers win, now it's going to start with a 5. What's Minnesota going to do? They should move forward with journeyman Sam Darnold and trade JJ for a first-round pick. I'm hearing all this stuff, and I laugh at it because Minnesota is in such a good power position. It is unreal. But their focus right now is week 18 because it is a really big-ass deal. It's a really big deal. It's not like the losing team, let's just say Minnesota, for example, loses in this football game. It's not like their Super Bowl bound is toast, right? It's not like the season is over by any means. All right, guys, before we get back into this video, once again, shout out to our sponsor, BetUS. We're over on their website right now, and it looks like they're actually giving the Minnesota Vikings, which sounds even crazy to say because they're 14-2, they're giving them some pretty solid odds here. Number 3, right behind Detroit and the Philadelphia Eagles. That might change soon, 24 hours from now. The Minnesota Vikings to win the NFC Conference, sitting here over on BetUS at plus 350. Folks, doesn't end just there. They're offering 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next 2, all with the code YouTube150. Let's get back to the video. But having 2 home playoff games, a week 1 bye, versus 3 potential road games against, Detroit, Dallas, Dallas, Philadelphia, Tampa, etc., etc. If Minnesota is the #1 seed, they're going to be a heavy favorite coming out of the division to make it to the Super Bowl. But my point is, everyone talks about the phenomenal season Sam Darnold's having, rightfully so. Everyone talks about Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, like I said, rightfully so. I don't know how Detroit is going to be able to guard all these guys. I'm looking at specifically TJ Hawkinson having a big breakout game like he's not an established stud in the NFL, but just in the sense of Detroit's so decimated defensively. Alex Anzalone, I think he's a game time call. By the time this video comes out, you might know if Alex Anzalone is playing or not. Their linebacker room especially is completely banged up. Now they're still making it do. They're averaging a lot of points per game, but they've also given up over 30 points in the last 5 outings. So I think this is going to be a crazy shootout. First to 30 probably won't even stand. It might be first to 35. On the contrary, the defense, they had a touchdown in the week, 6 matchup? I think it was week 7 technically. With the bye, doesn't even really matter. They had a defensive touchdown. Defense is going to be huge in this game, and I don't know. It might this is kind of like turning into a preview. Detroit's at home, but Detroit's defense is banged up, but Minnesota's got a better defense. I just think at the end of the day, it's all going to equal out. But my point is, Detroit Lions have scored 50 points more times this year than they've held or been held below 20 points. I mean, it's just what they're doing offensively is insane. They're putting up almost 38 points per game in the last month or so. So I would say flip a coin. if you're trying to figure out who's going to win this game, flipping a coin might give you better odds. It's just all things go. Ben Johnson's going to do some crazy stuff. KOC might do a crazy thing or two. It's just going to be a phenomenal football game. But the focus is on all these weapons and all these playmakers. And Aaron Jones, still having a really good season. 245 carries, 1,093 yards, 5 touchdowns. But like I said, the 12 carries against the Green Bay Packers in a revenge game was very strange to me. And that's why I wanted to illustrate what he did for my Green Bay Packers at the end of last season, because Jordan Love was chopping up the Dallas Cowgirls defense in the wild card round last season. But Aaron Jones is a really big reason the Green Bay Packers were able to make it even to the playoffs. We had to take down the Bears, the Panthers, your Minnesota, your banged up quarterback room at this time last season. And I just think a guy like Aaron Jones, he's been through a lot this season. He had those fumbles issues for a month in the middle of the season, but he's back, he's focused, he's energized. And I think a playmaker like this in that running back room, I would watch out for him specifically and TJ Hawkinson to have phenomenal games against the Detroit Lions. So, folks, I know this was kind of a weird rant video, but I did want to get a Vikings video out because I made a couple of Lions videos, a couple of Vikings videos this week. So I wanted to give the Vikings some hype because truly, the clock cannot come soon enough. We got to wait all the way through week 18. It's Sunday Night Football. It's prime time. Like we say, it's obvious it's game of the year. It's going to be just phenomenal. So what I want you guys to do is hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. But give me your score prediction for tomorrow night's football game down below. Have a great rest of your 24 hours. And, we'll see you soon, man.